I hope you took that breather in that moment of time to get up and move. I know I did. Uh, so I talked in another video a little bit about visualizations, um, visualizing that which you might desire, or visualize that which you want to experience. Um, Visual board is like a planning schematic where you're the center of the vision board. Okay, you could put like a dot, or you could put a circle of and write you as in yourself. That same spot, you could put an image of that which you want to see yourself as. Okay, um, it's going to look kind of like a spider web. Yeah. So in the center, it's you. Then you will branch out lines or threads of connection to the goal. You might have a single goal. You might have multiple goals. Don't compound too many goals in just one uh, vision board, because you'll end up scrambling and running back and forth between uh, reason, logic, and trying to come up with excuses why you can't achieve that. Let's let ego have a seat. Remember, ego reminds you of your past, reminds you of what you can and cannot do. Let's curb that. Okay. So whether you have a whiteboard, I don't have a whiteboard behind me, but I'm imagining a whiteboard behind me. And on that whiteboard, you draw your circle of you. Add a picture if you have to. Draw your line. Let's go with 4 goals. Okay. What are 4 goals that you want to occur favorably in your life? Sky is the limit. Dream what you want to dream. Dream big. Yeah, do that. And each one of those, label what that goal is. Okay. This isn't the part where you are trying to figure out if it's an acceptable goal for you or not. Just write the goal down. Okay. So say that you have 4 goals. So you branched out, goal, 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 goal. Okay. Now in that goal, you're going to branch a thread up, and you're going to put a plus sign. This is your intention. This is your positive intention. Okay? Positively charging that goal you have in mind. Okay? And you're going to do it for each one. Each one's going to have branches, and you're going to connect goal to positive, goal, goal to positive, gold, and so forth, till it all connects. Cool? Awesome. Next, you're going to branch out 3 threads. These threads one is your body. Body is inclusion of how you're thinking, how you're feeling, and how you are vibrating at the frequency, vibration, energy. Yeah. That's all body. Okay. Then you have source. You can use source, you can use God, you can use Native American culture will use Great Spirit in the sky, because that's what their understanding was. Okay. Use what works in your forte. If you don't have a forte of understanding as something of that nature because you've attributed it to a negative connotation, completely understand. Totally. So we're just going to say source. All right. And this is going to be mostly addressed as source. Then you're going to put universe. Okay. Body, source, universe. Universe, you're sending it out to the universe and trusting the universe to make the necessary arrangements to put the people in positions, the places in positions, the things in positions for it to come in to your life experience. Yeah. I don't always write them down because, like I said, my visualization and my imagination can project it like it's a holographic screen. And I can make the threads because I can see it clearly that way. But you might have to use a piece of paper. And you're actually seeing it in your mindscape. You're actually seeing it. As you are writing it down, you're drawing it from your mindscape and putting it on paper. You're just probably not focusing so greatly on it to see that you're actually seeing that image. It might appear like it's a thought of image. They share the same space. Yeah. So, body, source, universe. So, your body, thought, emotion, vibrate, frequency, energy. All right? You produce the energy. You produce the vibration. You produce the frequency. Jump into the frequency of neutrality. So when you're trying to create an experience to come into you, you need to go to neutrality. So go into meditation, drop yourself into calm, and that's your neutral. That's your still point, okay? That's where you can branch out clarity of your plan, all right? And each one of those is going to support you. Now off of those, you're going to come up with 3 reasons for each goal of how it can occur. You're not going to think about how it can't occur. Because now you're putting a negative aspect on it, and like attracts like, so you're going to get a negative aspect within that which you desire. So this is the part where you actually have to push your focus, your attention, more into it. So only focus on what you want to come into that. All right? Imagine the scene. Imagine the weather. Imagine the people that you might interact in this path. Imagine the state of being that they are in and how you receive them to you. Set it all with a positive interaction. So when that comes and it feels like deja vu, you have given it the manifestation power to occur. Yeah. Yeah. Whether you want to go somewhere and experience a location, take in some new sights, maybe you want to speak in front of people. Maybe you have a fear of speaking in front of people. So you're going to take your vision board and you're going to write all the ways that you can speak in front of people successfully. You're not going to think about the fear. You're not going to think about the anxiety. You're going to push that out of your mental field. If it keeps coming into your mental field, take a break from your vision board, address it, see it from a higher perspective. If it's resolvable at that moment in time, express, release. Boom. Now you can go back to your vision board. You're also going to have external distractions. You're going to have probably people coming in and out of your door, coming into your field of vision. Your phone's probably going to go off. Um, a pet might come over and want some attention. I get it. Um, just remember that your purpose is to come back to your center point and your intention of your plan. Okay? And that's what it is. That's your game plan. You may take physical steps, but just doing the vision board actually is the physical step. Yeah. When you send it out, whether you're writing it down or you're speaking it out, when you send it out, say the phrase with conviction, bring this to me greater than I can imagine. If you say bring it to me, it's going to bring it to me the exact way that you thought of it. And it's probably going to come with more than you had expected to occur because you weren't very specific on it. That doesn't mean go into the specifics of how it cannot occur. Don't self-sabotage. That's exactly what that is, self-sabotage. But what do you want to focus on? Do you want to focus on your physical health? Do you want to focus on your mental health? Maybe your emotional health? Maybe you want to focus on getting better all around. Maybe your financial health, your relational health. And relational health, it's not just an intimate relationship. It's how you connect with other people. It's how you relate with other people. If you're going into work and another person comes into your purview to communicate with you, they don't even have to communicate with you. They could be sitting at another desk across from you. It's still an interaction. Remember that space that's between two things? It's still valid. Yeah. But maybe you want to work on how you relate to somebody. Maybe you want to work on how you connect with somebody. You can put that on your vision board. Maybe you want to achieve something. Increase your knowledge of something. If you decide that you don't have enough resources in your arsenal, make your vision board, do your center, branch it out, and add books or resources to put that through. And then afterwards, draw a line connecting each one. And what it will look like is a spider web of a vision board. Add pictures, add content. Imagine a conversation that you will have, a positive conversation that you will have, and write down what that conversation was. As you focus your attention, your energy goes where your attention is. The state of mind that you're in, the emotional state that you're in, the state that your being is in, it all culminates. And when you focus your attention on something, you are sending energy to that thing. Yeah. Yeah. Energy. We're energetic beings. Multi-bodies. So I talked about we have a mental body. We have a physical body. We have an emotional body where we store experiences. We store how we felt of the experiences. And it goes there. Sometimes we can call it a scar if it was an unfavorable event. Sometimes we can call it a joy, a happiness encounter. And we will patch that feeling into our spiritual heart. And that goes into your file cabinet. Yep. Then you have your mental body, your physical body, and your emotional body, but you also have an energetic body. The energy is both flowing around the outside of your body and the inside of your body, because you have those vortices, those spinning discs, the chakras. It's in and out. So the energy can flow in, and you also have it down the line of your behind you, and it can flow out. Okay. Then you have what's called the spiritual body, not source body, spiritual body, which is the body that you use to jump through dimensions. Okay. It's also kind of like your awareness. If you want to be aware of your toe, and this isn't where you're using your physical eyes. You can actually shut down your eyes like this, and you're talking about your toe. You are now sending into dimension the toe, and that's where you can send energy to if there's a toe that needs healing. If there's and so when you go to see a doctor and you ask where it's at, you can go into calm state, use your awareness, higher awareness of consciousness, and send energy to that spot that they said it was in, and start the process of self-healing. Yeah. Don't think of why it cannot be healed. If you're going to think of why it cannot be healed, it's not going to heal. It's going to stay as is, remain. If you think of all the ways that it can heal, and I mean, you can go into deep meditation and deep imagination and see your metaphysical spirit body actually sewing and stitching, cleansing out the negative energetic debris that's in there, and repair. See the cells come together and repair that which is an ailment or needs healing. That's your spirit body. Your spirit body will project out, and it will project up. To bring your spirit body down, you have to take the conscious effort to bring it down. And that's where you bring your body into each of your chakras. And you can go into each of the chakras with your spirit body and go into the area and get clarity of what needs resolving. That's how your file cabinet works. Yeah. It's pretty cool. It is. Don't be afraid of it. Don't be afraid of it. It's just your own unique self trying to help you help yourself. Okay? Our body is a unique, intricate web of multi-dimensional proportions. Okay? You cannot shift your physical body into a higher dimension. Your physical body must remain in the third dimension. If you took your physical body and put it into 2 dimension, or 1 dimension, or 4th dimension, or 5th dimension, it would not survive, because it's not the environment it's meant to be in. Yeah. You could, and I mean, other capacities for your spiritual body is called astral projection, where you can actually project your spirit body out and actually see your physical body as it's laying there. Yeah. And there's so much more that you could do, and it's probably going to confound you if I go into too much detail if you don't have the working basis and knowledge of that information. So we're not going to go into details and confuse you of too much of that. But I did want to touch on it and highlight some of it. So if you did come across in your research, as I encourage you to go out and research, because I'm not going to give you the answers. I'm going to give you the tools and resources to go out and research it. So you form your own understanding of it, because you walked a different path. You came through a different experience from start to where you are now. And I did not walk that experience with you in your body. I didn't grab the knowledge in your body. So only you will have that capacity. Let's talk about the use of a visual aid. Okay. This is a representation of a body, the chakra points, around it, the energetic field, within it, the energetic vortices. And what I did is I wrote what I wanted to have around me. Okay. I put a insight. I had a question. I wanted clarity. That was the insight. Clarity on the question I have. I wanted to go within to get the answer to come out of the question that formed from what I observed. That's how that works. And there's other ways that it works. That's just how my process works. And then session notes, right down here, is what I got out of it. And I took that and I put it in my journal. I put my journal down. I meditated on what I wrote, went for a walk, listened to some music, came back, opened up my journal, and read it again. Got information out of it, closed my journal, meditated on that information that I had just read from what I had written that I previously meditated on. Yes. That's how it works. When you build a repetition of doing that, you get more clarity of that, because the clarity is already within you. You just become the conduit to create the question of something you are observing. How you are observing it will matter. If you observe it from a subjective view, which is in the moment, and just at a limited perspective, you're only going to see from a subjective view. If you elevate to an objective view where you zoom out and see the full picture, you're not going to get the whole picture. You're going to get more of the picture that you can be able to encode and then decode later on to answer the question that has risen out of you. Yeah. Your greatest questions will never be answered by somebody else, because that question's designed to come out of you. Because remember, we come here with spiritual amnesia, so we forget all of this to play the game of life. That question was already within you to come out, to bring you back into awareness after all the lessons you have learned up to that point. And that can come in at any time in your timeline. And once you have fulfilled your purpose of that timeline, you shift. Yep. If it's been unresolved, or if you came through in the timeline and you did not reach your full potential, and that was what your sacred agreement was, to get an avatar, play the game of life, learn lessons, grow, expand, express, and release, you are going to repeat in a new body. Yes, you are. It's okay if you don't believe me. It's okay. One way of realizing that you have repeated a life process is the accessing of Akashic records. And the Akashic records is not something that you will find in a written book of your record timeline or multiple timelines that you have already come through. The Akashic records is in the higher dimension. And if you desire to go through to get to that, you have to go through the higher dimension to do so. Yeah. But I won't say too much more on that because I don't want to fill your head with too many details that you stop right there and you don't do your due diligence. Work in you requires due diligence. Yeah. Yeah. I also wanted to talk about power of what we consume through our meals, in what the properties can do if we consume some of the right things that are naturally provided. Remember, all the resources in this plane of existence is already provided for you. You just have to shift your awareness and your thought process to receive it as that. Power of herbs, spices, teas, and ingredients that you consume through your meals, preparations, drinks, etc., they all have properties. They all have natural properties that assist the human body, the emotional body, the mental body, and the energetic body, as well as the spirit body. Yes, Source is the spark of life that animates your body. Yes. When you desire something, that desire is automatically already hit to Source, but Source is already aware of where your path is going. It's just you stuck in the middle of the path, not knowing where you are going because you had forgotten. Yeah. Enlightenment. Anyways, I don't want to go through all of these spices and herbs because I do want you to do your research on the healing properties of the natural healing properties of these herbs. And some of you may have an allergen, which means you have a cell or multiple cells in your body that does not agree, even though it's a healthy thing for you. And that's where I say that sometimes one modality is not a shoe fits all. Your chemistry is unique. Your DNA is unique. Your genetic coding is unique. If you introduce a good thing to your body that it's not supposed to have, it will have an adverse reaction, which is followed up with symptoms of an allergic reaction. My other half, even though I love peppermint and rosemary is a good herb for medicinal properties, it does not coincide with her cellular structure. So she cannot use those items, which that means I cannot grow those items around the house. I can use basil, I can use cilantro, I can use tulsi, which is also called holy basil, which boosts your immunity to a viral that has been introduced into your system. The viral or dis-ease isn't just in your physical body. It can be in your mental body. It can be in your emotional body. And what that dis-ease or viral is an imbalance within you. And the modalities is to help you correct that imbalance. And you can use garlic, you can use black pepper. I mentioned black pepper earlier with water. It's an absorber. It helps absorb the nutrients that you are consuming in a more rapid way. So it comes through your body and absorbs more efficiently. Okay. Pink Himalayan salt or sea salt. You can use a pinch of it as a purifier. You'll have taste to it too. You might go into the store and you might pick up something that's pre-processed and it's going to have a nutrition label on it, and it's probably going to say a large amount of sodium. That's not the good salt. That is a processed set of salt that actually causes harm to your body. And you might show signs of bloating. You might elevate blood pressure. You might introduce aches and pains, discomforts, migraines. Migraine is from an imbalance. You can get migraines from too low on water. You can get migraines from not having the proper nutrients in your body. You can get migraines from introducing a substance that shouldn't be in your body, and it's telling you to remedy the pattern that's happening so that it doesn't reoccur. But then we take Tylenol or we take ibuprofen and hope that it disappears, and it just curbs the symptom until it reappears again. Again, you have to address the thing and then resolve the thing by going through it and releasing it. If you have to release something out of your pattern, release something out of your pattern. If you have to release a physical thing out of what you are consuming, release the physical thing that you are consuming. If you are consuming a bunch of mental energy, you're going to have to go through the mental field to release the mental energy if you are taking conscious effort to do so. Reiki or any other modality is just to get you into balance and neutrality, and so that you can rise up to address and resolve and then release out of you that doesn't serve you. Okay, and that's what's the imbalance is. It's resting within you that doesn't belong there. That's the imbalance. Okay. It may serve at a certain point for whatever duration, but probably wasn't supposed to stay with you as long as it has. And you can do cinnamon. Cinnamon is really good for aiding insulin, reducing blood sugar, bad blood sugar levels in your body. It's also a natural spice to create natural energy levels. So you're in a brain fog, you're in a grogginess, didn't sleep well last night, or you've been overworked, and your idea is the first thing to do is grab coffee or grab a soda that has caffeine in it and sugar. The cinnamon itself will help you bring you into a higher energetic awareness. Okay, it may even go higher in awareness, but it's bringing to be able to function your body at your normal capacity usually. Ashwagandha, when you are too stressed and can't deal, your mind's going haywire, your heart's fluttering haywire, your body might be shaking in some capacity. Ashwagandha is a stress reducer. Decrease the amount of stress that you are loading, and you will balance out. These are physical properties that you can take that will assist you in it. And there's supplements out there too that you can probably get. But some of the supplements you might see additional additives that made it to be processed and then brought to your table or house, whatever. You might find a supplement covered in what they call a sugar capsule, and the sugar capsule is just basically to hold that supplement in it while you ingest it, so that when it gets to the stomach acids, it can be absorbed more readily. Teas, rose hips, hibiscus, echinacea. If you are experiencing an illness or you feel sick, nose is running, throat is kind of closing up, your breathing is kind of shallow, and it has the symptoms of like a cold or a flu or allergy, you can take that and it will actually increase, it will help remedy what's in there, push it out, and increase your immunity to that. So when that thing becomes reintroduced to you, you have a natural blocker of antibodies. But if you are consuming something bringing down your immunity, you're going to be susceptible to outside viral infections into your body. Yeah. Peppermint, chamomile. Chamomile is a calming tea also. Usually recommended if you are having trouble sleeping that you have a cup of chamomile tea. Do a little spritz of lemon or lime, just a little citrus in it, and a teaspoon of honey or a teaspoon of agave. I know some people cannot have agave and they have to have an alternative, but really either raw honey or a natural sweetener like agave or monk fruit is a lot better than a processed or chemical created sugar sweetener. Even the 0-calorie sweeteners have the processing of chemicals, and it will actually have an adverse reaction to your cellular structure. Depends on how much you want your tongue to control what you taste. And if your tongue is controlling more about the taste of going in your mouth than you controlling how well you want your body to be, there's going to be friction. Frictions, vibrating, bouncing energetically. Yeah. Ginger. If you are taking a fasting, I introduced different levels of fasting. If you are practicing fasting in whichever category you might be practicing it in, it helps to lower the blood sugar that you have, and the sugar that's in your gut. That sugar that's formed in your gut that we call fat or fatty tissues is from sugar. Okay, bad sugars and good sugars, because it's designed that when you consume the food, you're consuming the food for a purpose, and that purpose is to get up and move. That's what that energy is for, is to, so that when you go and move, you are using that energy. But if you consume and you sit down, or like you have a working job that's sit down, and you don't get up throughout the day to use that energy, it stores it as sugar in your gut. And then it becomes labeled as fat. Sage increases brain function, cognition, recall. If you are doing shadow work, I would probably recommend doing a small teaspoon, or not teaspoon, a small teaspoon of sage to help you address that which is in your file cabinet. Okay. Don't take more than necessary, because it will bring out a recollection of your file cabinet, and you will be jumping between experiences of snapshot images, and any of the energy that's attached to that file will come to your forefront, and you will display those energies through your physical form, your emotional form, and your heart form. So remember, take one out, work at one aspect of that, close that file, put it in a file cabinet, close the file cabinet, forget about it. When it needs to come back into your awareness, it will come back. Okay, this is where you're making conscious decisions, conscious deliberate actions to work on yourself. Chamomile calms down the nervous system. Remember the parasympathetic nervous system and the sympathetic nervous system. The sympathetic nervous system is the fight and flight response. The parasympathetic nervous system is the calm, relax system. Okay, you have both. Just like you have two hemispheres, you have both. And right in the middle of it, you have your pineal gland that sends hormones down through it. Okay, whatever state you are at is the release of hormones that you're going to receive. If you're in fight and flight, you're going to get a release of hormones of cortisol and adrenaline. If you shift into calm and possibly meditative state, you're going to get a drop of either DMT or dimethyltryptamine, or you may get a calming hormone to drop. Pretty much like chamomile. The power of your thoughts, you can do so. If you feel you want to make yourself well, your body's going to respond in that feel, make myself well. Okay. But herbs, spices, teas, ingredients that you use, I want you to do the research. I want you to look up the natural healing properties of them. And you are your guinea pig. You are your own person. You are your own practice. It will either show a sign that you shouldn't use this product, or an imbalance is in your system that is not accepting it. So you might have to use a different modality. I don't know what your allergies are, so bear with me. I'm not going to ask for your medical reports. I'm not going to ask you for what allergies you have, because that is what I want you to go through and discover what works for you. And I might not have a modality. I might not have a practice that is suited for your needs, which is completely fine. This is me bringing information to your awareness. Okay? This is not me telling you to do. This is giving you the opportunity to look into and determine if this is something that you should be taking. Again, see a medical doctor and a licensed nutritionist before you take the advice of anybody else. There's no magic pill out there. You're not going to find a get all well pill. You will find supplements, and you will find natural remedies, and you will find holistic remedies, and you will find synthetic remedies. Synthetic remedies do not solve the problem that is occurring. They only subside the symptom of the problem. Okay? Supplements, they don't solve the problem. They curb the symptoms so you can address the problem in a calm state of mind. You can't do that if you're chaotic, if you have an unstable mind. You can't do that if you're jumping through brainwave frequencies, or you're bouncing back and forth between the past and now and concerned about the future. Okay? Calm. Calm is very necessary. A storm rises within you and presents itself either in your physical environment, your mental environment, your emotional environment. But don't ever feel like you have to approach the resolution of what you want to work on within you to become well, or more well than you are at the current status that you are. Don't feel like you're alone. Don't feel like you have to conquer it on your own. There's a reason why there's other people in the world. If there wasn't a necessity for other people, you would be the only person in the world. That's where relation comes. Relate. Relate for meaningful connections. For your good, for your wellness and your greater purpose to come out, and their wellness and their greater purpose to come out. Even when they don't see it, it's okay. It will make sense at some point in their life. It will make sense. Anyways, I just wanted to branch that off in there and give you some working tools to help you with what kind of goals you might be setting, and the mindset that you are setting those goals in. Um, these herbs and spices can help you adjust to the mindset to create your spider web or your vision board of plan that you desire to experience. Okay. Um, I love you. Go do your research. Okay. um, Even if there's an advertisement that says that this is going to do you well. In fact, the pills that you see on there will tell you that there's a that this treats this problem, but it does not cure the problem. It does not fix the problem. It subsides the problem, but introduces you to side effects. Um, yes, whatever is not supposed to be in your body, you should probably not put in your body. um, but you have a great rest of your day. All right. Love you. Be well. Be well. Be well.